Hey guys, so I started cleaning up. You know, I kind of got overwhelmed with this wiring thing, right? And I was working late at night and had to get up for work in the morning and blah blah blah, right? So I actually started cleaning up, believe it or not, and figured I'd give this one more try and started looking at it, and I had this connector off, right? So this back casing was off, where this cinch down clip kind of thing. They kind of snap in there, right? So push this down, that opens up and this clip can come off. Well, I had this entire cinch down mechanism off because I was trying to pin out some of the wires and making sure I was going to the right ones. 51 and 50, well, I'll have to think back now. 51 and, I think it's 51 and 52 are your ignition and power wire for basically this entire ECU. So if this clip doesn't work, the entire ECU doesn't turn on. Basically, I went in here, cleaned everything out, put this back connector on, and watch this. So I can cinch this down. Everything's tight here. I'm not touching anything. You know, powers to grounds, everything looks good. We're connected here. This is my new ignition wire. It turns out this yellow wire is running off the CAN bus. And this has a lot to do with like starter safety, so the clutch has to be engaged, or the brake pedal, or you have to have your key with the chip in it, and it has to read all these sensors, right? So this runs through the CAN bus for like a safety mechanism. I was told not to use this. Now, I wired the relay directly, and all it needs to do is make a ground, and this is going to be how I'm going to wire it in the car. I might flop power and ground. Anyways, I got that, and then I'm like, well, I'll give it one more try, and I saw this spark. Tiny little spark, right? So I'm like, oh my gosh, what happened? Was I touching something, right? So went back, looked, I'm like, okay, so check this out. I'm going to turn on the ignition, watch the throttle blade. So I don't know if you can hear that hum, but the ECU's on. Now my pedal, it must be in limp home mode, because I'm going to hit my pedal and it's only going to move a little bit. I'm not sure if you can see that on camera or not. Hopefully you can hear it. Anyways, I definitely hear a high frequency from the H-bridge, I think it is, inside the throttle body. And I also hear, when I initially turn on the ECU, I think it's maybe there's another relay in there, or anyways. Alright, so it works. All I have to do is, I'm still going to delete VATs and starter diag, and then start wiring my O2 sensors, because all my wiring works right now. So I'm going to start getting my O2 sensors in, which I'm going to flip these manifolds around just to start. I bought a starter carriage unit here, so I'm going to bolt that on. What else? I guess just clean up some wiring. Oh, I bought an intake tube, because I have to mount this MAF. So this MAF is going to go in, I believe, one of these directions. Something like this, whatever, it has to be so far away. I have to make an adapter for this. So this is a billet plate here. I want to read oil pressure. So I have the original oil pressure sensor here, but it turns out this is like a 12 millimeter. This is a straight thread, not a pipe thread, with a crush washer, much like an old school spark plug. So I have to make an adapter for that. Buying some oil. I think I'm going to go with 5W20. The cap says 020. Well, you know, maybe I'll go with the recommended spec. I'm not sure yet. I haven't figured that out. Man, what else? I mean, I guess, you know, then it's... Oh, I got to wire in a fuel pump. So I'm going to wire in a fuel pump. I'm just going to have like a gas tank or something and make sure I don't have any sparks going on. But my fuel, this feeds right into the back of the high pressure fuel pump. So I'm going to plug that in there. That's going to feed that. I'm just going to give it like a maybe 60 psi through a return regulator. I got the entire setup. I just got to pick up from my buddy. So it's going to feed that. I already said I would remove VATs and all the safety features. So yeah, guys, it's coming along. I'm pretty happy. You know, despite some frustrating times yesterday, actually, it works. All right, thanks. Bye.